And I pay. Mame and now I say na me ma wakwa famra happy morning show nisu enano pay. Na offer the fine the obokra tano enano pay lawyer me akwenya or say the office of the special prosecutor says though its findings reveal that the conduct of Mr. Charles Adubuahin, a former minister of state at the Ministry of Finance, engaged in influence peddling. There are no existing criminal prohibitions for such actions under Ghanaian law. Lawyer, Sabrofu kesi ni nchire mu ni sen wadaroma.
Okay, me share with chief for no pay. Party ye kasa ya chemo.
No kre.
Yes, reporter special prosecutor ba. In fact, before I became so court no on any investigation, just when you evidence to support the investigation. On one share any evidence of one. Also evidence no and supporting corruption or corruption related offense. Although a influence peddling. Influence peddling now some ways somehow no. In a way it is a sort of corruption related offense. Corruption. Because you use position to gain money in order to secure a contract or any position for another person. But without any evidence to support acquiring benefit for yourself, maybe just mere influence and any corruption sort of to warrant going to court to get conviction. But what must I say? Because what's it a corruption related offense? Okay, my mention was you can influence the say who you sue position and appear maybe as a government officer or in order to secure a contract or secure benefit for somebody. In a way and also get a benefit for yourself. Maybe getting through monetary benefit and getting any other benefit. Not as a what the bread and as a dibiano wono. What the geniema in who kwasen ka wodie e de ama ho anaze wo gibi e de ama ebinu mo ben was na apatra wadaroma. Yes, no influence. In a way sort of a corruption because you are getting benefit for yourself using the position you have. But it's very difficult getting evidence to support influence because corruption, there must be some benefit you accrue to yourself personally. But what must? And just bragging and saying that you have a position to support somebody to get something out of it without technically getting any benefit for yourself, you cannot charge the person corruption. I'll say yes. I mean, confuse a chief for this. There be confuse a chief. So what it means, Nisa, and more office of the special prosecutor, worker said, would Nina Subiano. It means that your can on one of the cases closed. Yes, that means that only evidence there to support the fact that you're investigating, he used his position to get any benefit for himself or benefit a third party to the benefit of himself. That's what I said. Although engaging in influence peddling, but influence peddling, he did not get any benefit to himself or benefit to a third party related company that he has any interest in. Lawyer, what does this mean to our fight against corruption? Yes, in fact, influence peddling itself is wrong. Morally, it is wrong. If you go beyond influence peddling, because in other countries they do lobby for position. And then I hear friend influence peddling. That's what I say. Lobbying in itself, it is not wrong. In other countries they do lobby for position, which is not wrong. But then if you do that to get benefit for yourself, either a monetary benefit and a benefit to a third party related company there, then becomes corruption in itself. And morally, influence peddling is wrong. It shouldn't be encouraged. But prosecute be just merely on influence peddling is very difficult because in a corruption case or offense or charge, you must be able to establish that the person used his position or influence to get benefit for himself and a third party related person or company that all interest. So without that proof, it means that in a case that untimi enya sa adansidie no untimi enter bring nipa no fa ne konkojina se ne bia se obo no kwadu. No. For corruption, if the person does not get any benefit for himself, only evidence gets support, say, if money exchange hands or positions exchange hands, or he got benefits or the more for third party or interest. It's very difficult to charge the person and prosecute the person for corruption. And the influence peddling in itself make us say wrong. It should not be encouraged.
You're wrong, but Lawyer Patomambisa, do we have any statute, another act, another law, specifically a state say influence peddling is wrong, and that if you do it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the punishment. You bet me the amawo.
No, I've not investigated to check myself personally. But then, from what I know, influence peddling in itself, there's no law that specifically categorizes that as a crime. It is captioned under corruption if the person gets benefits to himself. And so you can just go beyond just influence peddling and lobbying to get position. But if you lobby with the intention or with the ultimate outcome of getting benefit out of it personally or through a related company, then it becomes corruption or corruption-related offense.
Lawyer Pacho, the absence of a clear-cut legal framework that defines influence peddling within our statutes and also within our laws, do you feel, sir, it is having any impact or whatsoever on our fight against corruption in this country?
In fact, looking at reports or the special prosecutor at the Bay, in fact, I was expecting him to go beyond that to let us know the evidence that he obtained to come to that conclusion. Because then, if you don't take care, I may encourage people to go ahead and say that we are just doing influence peddling. We are not merely engaging in corruption, creating a justification, which is wrong. And I wish he will provide evidence that was available to him, based on which he came to the conclusion, said, this is not a corruption or corruption-related offense, but then mere influence peddling that did not go beyond the influence peddling. And we will not encourage it. In fact, it is bad in itself. Lobbying is not, it's bad. On the moral side, lobbying is bad. In the legal side, there's nothing wrong with lobbying or influence peddling. Morality side, we wish the appointing authority to have a clear mind to do appointments or to give contracts or anything. So we don't want somebody to have an influence on him in making that appointment. On the moral side, it is wrong. But on the legal side, if the person doing the lobbying does not get any benefits personally to himself or to a related company which has an interest in, then on the legal side, there's nothing wrong with it.
Lawyer, how do we deal with this gap? Do you feel, sir, there is a need for us to enact a law that specifically defines influence peddling as being wrong and being punishable?
In fact, in Randy, there will be new one, you have any special prosecutors act that has defined what corruption is. In Randy, there will be, but still, the kind of lobbying there, and offense. In no country, and I'm legalizing lobbying as an offense. The lobbying there is allowed in our political environment, it's allowed. But then we will not encourage that people will go beyond the lobbying to influence peddling to get benefits for themselves. But in Bali, I don't think there should be a new law to categorize influence peddling as an offense.
But as I didn't how will you assess the OSP's investigations on this particular case? The Ura Charles Dubois in case Ebabeto Dra OSP Esomo Emma Ghana for nyina asote yes ya obetimi ayemu nhwehwemu na se ebia kwadu bo was said the Ura Charles Dubois here ya de abono ne ne de abesie ne se OSP se ontimi enya so biara emfa Ura Dubois emfa ne nkonkojina se ne bia meni emie ne nasem. This particular investigation, how will you assess it?
On the personal side, it was a bit surprising because Charles Dubois issue came out through a Tiger Eye investigation.
No, correct.
Tiger Eye is the previous lawyer is the current OSP. So I was a bit surprised when the report came out that they did not have evidence support corruption or corruption relief offense. Because we know that as a lawyer, whenever your client is taking any action, either the client will consult you or not, you are involved or you know what is happening. So I was a bit surprised when the report came up. But then we don't know evidence as special prosecutor war based on which they come out the report. But I wish he discloses evidence it came to his attention, not just Tiger Eye report. But if he was able to get any evidence support or not support, I would report him. I wish he comes public with it because it all helps build the integrity. Already, there are so many cases in court that he is not being successful with. So I wish coming out with the report and because the evidence he based on to draw that conclusion. Everybody,
Lawyer, Mama no say AVA, MCVA, Anopay. Producer, have me. Anopay, I think I die. Lawyer, Mama no say, and Anopay say, Oje Penny, now need to go fast as a boom. Medasipa.
Okay, next me that's